Okay, so this is a super quick run through of the Community app. I've connected a Bluetooth keyboard. You can navigate up and down in the menu with W and X.
Binocular misalignment measurement. Binocular audio file missing.
Well, there's the first bug, audio file missing. So the monocular suppression example is actually just something for testing what each eye can see individually. If I go into there by pressing E, it'll ask you to put the phone into the viewer, and in this case we see a small grey star in the right eye. I can make it brighter by pressing W, so up, or darker by pressing X,
10% brightness.
and by holding down W
17 meters away.
for a second or two, it pushes it further away, makes it smaller.
19 meters
You
away.
can swap eyes by a long left or right hold, where left and right are A and D. So if I hold to the
Left
right,
eye active.
you get a random object on the left, which you can make brighter or darker again. So this is a way of
20%
establishing,
brightness.
I'll just turn off the audio. This is a way of establishing if somebody can even use both eyes, full stop. So if we go back out by hitting Q, we can take a look at the binocular suppression scene. I think it's pretty clear how to use that already, but again, navigate down, press E, and as you look up or down, the relative luminance of the scene changes. If you have alternating strabismus, you'll probably see arrows pointing left and right at the same time, yellow and blue, because you have this thing called panorama vision. If you have alternating strabismus, so you can choose which eye to fix with, and you don't experience this, let us know, let us know either way, because panorama is still a kind of unconfirmed phenomena, but it's happening with everybody who has alternating strabismus in this scene. So count how many columns you see, if it's maybe 4 with the one eye or 3 in the other, and try to figure out what's happening at the overlap in the center. If there's just no overlap, if you're getting a mixture of overlap. Anyway, so we carry on. We'll find a position, if you have regular amblyopia, where you see the arrows pointing in both directions simultaneously, so like you see like a kind of a mixture of stars, and you press E to confirm. That drops you back out into the menu, and that will then be stored for use in other scenes. Let's go down to, give myself a bit of volume so I can hear where we are.
Binocular suppression. Misalignment measurement.
So in the misalignment measurement, if we press E to go into that,
Right eye is strabismic.
you should be able to choose which eye is strabismic by holding down long left or right.
Left eye is
There we go.
strabismic.
So again, A and D on the keyboard, you can pick which eye is strabismic. In this case, the left eye is strabismic, and we've slightly suppressed the right eye, the luminance for the right eye. So you pick a position, for example, esotropic or exotropic. Just go for esotropic, and just press E again. Also, note down, let us know if you manage to get these two to really overlap and you start seeing these impossible colours where you perceive the colour as being a bit of cyan and black at the same time, or yellow and black at the same time. They're called impossible colours. This is an indicator of fusion, and interestingly, some people with alternating strabismus can't do this if they focus, but if they relax and look off into the distance, suddenly they're able to. Let us know if that happens. Press E to select.
Misalignment measurement.
So, alternating fusion
Alternating fusion.
is a bit of an experimental scene for people with alternating strabismus. And the idea is, once we go in there,
Ready.
if you press up,
Raising conflict.
it'll add a conflict background, which is actually what you want, probably. So up being W, because you want one eye or the other to dominate. In fact, what we're doing here is you want to fix with one eye and then the other eye. So press the right arrow key, so the letter D, to increase the number of hertz. So this is 1 hertz. And try to fix with your right eye, and then left eye, right eye, left eye, right eye, left eye, right eye, left eye. and keep increasing the hertz.
3 hertz.
See how fast you can go. Try to train yourself, even if it makes you feel uncomfortable, yeah? Not too uncomfortable, mind. Try to change your fixing eye. Right, left, even faster. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. See if you can see how far you can go with this over the course of days or weeks. Because what we've noticed is that, and press Q to quit. What we've noticed is that it's possible to start alternating so quickly that the eye that's currently being suppressed doesn't have time to fall away before it's time for it to be the dominant eye again. And you can get to the point where both eyes actually straighten out and both switch on, and you can fuse in real time. So just look at a finger in front of your face and try to switch as fast as you can from eye to eye. And that's a bit of a practice for you to get try to find out where you are, trying to get that alternating up, the speed up. I'm sorry about the voiceover here. This is unpracticed. It's the end of the day. I really just want to get this out now.
Alternating fusion. Diamond depth perception.
So the diamond depth perception. This is something you go into again with the E. Rotate the phone, put it in the headset. It takes into account the suppression ratio, the misalignment, and the idea is that you look at these 4 circles and you might be able to see which one of them appears to be coming out towards you. Now they now have these yellow and cyan spherical halves, so you can also be sure that you're actually seeing 4 circles, but in both eyes, because if you are, you'll see these impossible colours floating in the middle of each circle. So in this case, I'm guessing the right one is closer to me, so I'll press the right key, that's the D.
Correct. Next.
In this case, I'm guessing again that it's the right eye, so I'll press D.
False.
Oh, wrong,
Next.
false, yeah. And just carry on through this until it quits. So it'll do this 10 times, with each one being more difficult than the last. If you want to stop, just press Q. I'll try to make some kind of spreadsheet so you can keep your results from all of these tests together.
Diamond depth perception. Eye straightening.
So the eye straightening, let me hope this is in a condition that it works. Yeah, not really. Okay, I need to fix that. Sorry folks, I hadn't had time to check that. The suppression ratio isn't working, but the misalignment is, and if you press E, you'll see that the one side starts to straighten up. Actually too quickly in this case. I haven't used this scene for a long time. If you can get to the fusion from the initial position, as it straightens up, if you don't notice any difference after you've pressed E, that means that your eye is subconsciously following it and straightening up. So a better version of this test, of this scene, is actually the hyperreal one,
And virtually real realignment.
which uses the okay, it was correct. It's just we didn't set the binocular suppression ratio. Okay, and then you press. Actually, I think in this case, yes, it automatically starts straightening up until it reports that it's straightened. And again, if you've managed to fuse from the start and suddenly it says straightened, it means at this moment in time, if you're still fusing, you're seeing the cyan bar at the bottom, the yellow bar at the top, and nothing's changed. It means, congratulations, your eyes have straightened up. Press Q to quit, or press E to restart.
Saving best angle.
So, and finally, there is the
Anisoconia measurement.
anisoconia measurement. So this is for one guy in the group who has anisoconia to try out, and whoever else does. So with anisoconia, you see things at a different scale in each eye, and that's what causes the amblyopia. So we can press the up and down arrows, W and X. First of all, we select the eye that sees things at the largest scale by holding right or left down for a second or two and letting go. Okay, so I've chosen the right eye. so I can handle the misalignment angle. And if I press up or down, so W and X, I can scale it down with virtual distance or make it larger. So try and find the point where you actually are able to fuse these two things and they're the same size. And that'll tell you something about your anisoconia, whether you have it and what it's like. And maybe from there, we could move on to doing a scene similar to eye straightening, where not only do we straighten up the misalignment, but we also do the scaling. You can press right or left to switch through the different assets. You can just dump different assets in the IDE in Unity to have different things to look at. These are the railway tracks going towards Leipzig main train station, taken from not far from our house. And you can make this, again, smaller or larger. Okay. So that's just a few of the environments to inspire you to try out some new things and to look at some of the techniques we've used, probably to just inspire you to do them better. But then please do them better and think about how to make it more generic and simpler for people to use. You'll see there are lots of different approaches that we've used and common objects and ways that we've used the framework in the same way, but I'm sure you'll be able to explore all of that. So, thank you very much.